Another window complete. Actually thinking in the summer we won't sign anyone. You never know. So again, straight into today's episode. Hopefully you are all well. We have spent over 200 million this January, which does push us up to 492 million spent. So let's get and have a look through the winter window signings. So first off, from Newcastle for 1.3 million, a player who's going to come in and play for our B team. Maybe he develops into a good player, maybe not. But for 1.3 million, I think it was worth a punt, wasn't it, on this 19-year-old Portuguese English attacker. Next up for 68 million, Devrient. Emerick how would we say this? Devrient Emerick. We're gonna go with Emerick, okay? We can say Emerick, but Emerick looks amazing. We paid 68 million. We were watching him at Lens, but obviously we couldn't convince him to come to Lens from Nantes. But 68 million now valued up to 101, and I have to say, he is the type of player alongside Pedri we needed. I said we needed somebody who was top level, and he absolutely smashed it. 100%. This guy is insanely good, and he loves big matches, which you can never complain at. So the next one we brought in was Emrin Kondik from Manchester United for 13 million. He's a 23-year-old Slovenian international, to go with our few Slovaks. And again, I think he's a top player. 13 million is insanely cheap as well. When you look at his attributes, I think everything fits in terms of a player who I just think can easily repay the value. And it does mean if Pedri or Emerick is out, he steps in that attack midfield strider and is just as good in my opinion. Then finally, for 150 million from PSG, we signed a real player, 27-year-old Warren Zaïre-Emery. And wow, world-class midfielder is his media description. He's a leading La Liga player. He has a pro of consistency, intelligence, passing, big matches. And I think as well, alongside Bernal in central mid, I just think he takes us to that next level. And aged only 27, he has a good 5-6 years left in him. He's one of our highest earners of 575 a week. It's a large amount to be paying out. But we did lose a few players over the window, so we did end up balancing it out. So Oscar Bob went to Al Ittihad for 12 million. Asprilla Al Ettifaq for 22 million. Mosquera to Al Hilal for 10 million. Zappelli to Al Fatih for 15 million. And Gistau, the fourth choice striker, to Everton for 4.1 million. So we did recoup 131 million this season so far. You can see we've got 121 million in the bank still. We've made 13 million so far this season. I do think we will end up in the red this season. That is one of the reasons why I am thinking maybe over this summer window we potentially don't look at signing anyone. I'm not 100% on that. We need to see how we look financially, but this Barcelona team needed a huge rebuild, and we're not quite there. It's quite against how I normally play to be spending this much this quickly, but at the same time I've almost had to drag myself along doing that to make sure that we don't get left behind and I lose my job, because this team was nowhere near good enough to battle and compete on more than one front. And we obviously have the Champions League and the Cup and the League we want to do well in. So, since you were last with us, you were with us for the Real Madrid game, we've done okay. So we got a 0-0 draw against Las Palmas. Then we beat Espanyol 3-1. We beat Real Sociedad 3-1. And we beat Celta Vigo 2-1. A couple of things to mention. Espanyol, a hat-trick for Mark. Real Sociedad saw Alex get his first goal for the club. And then obviously Celta Vigo, Mark again on the score sheet. Mark, by the way, has 18 and 17 starts, 1 sub-appearance in the league. He's absolutely dominating it. If we put this on all competitions again as well, so there's a couple of things to pick up on. So first off, the Champions League. We had 2 games after the winter window. We first off beat Real Red Bull Salzburg, 1-0 with Mark scoring the goal. They were down to 10 men, which did definitely help us. Then we beat Young Boys of Bern 3-0. Emmerich, Devilet and Finchu on the score sheet, and that saw us qualify in 19th place. We've not got the draw for the knockout round yet, but we are into the knockout round, and hopefully we can maybe get somebody like, I don't know. There's some big teams here. Big teams all over, isn't it? It's the Champions League, Paul. And also we have played some games in the Cup. So we first off played Lorca Deportivo and got a 6-0 victory. Mark with 2, Finchu with 3, and Mercy on the score sheet. We then played Loja and got a 6-0 victory. Kukureya, our left back who we'll look at. Kodnik with 2, Alex on the score sheet, and Emmerich. We then beat Cordoba 2-0, Mark and Mercia. And in the fourth round, we're going to be playing Granada. Now, the other thing to recap is a couple of players have come up from our youth team. So first one to look at, where is he? And here we are, Richard Kukureya, who we did look at. I did say, will he develop? He can play both fullback positions. He could be very useful. Where he's stepped up, he's played 2 games for the first team in the league. 1 start, 1 sub appearance in the Champions League as well as a couple of starts in the Cup. And also, a central defender came up. The one who I did say I did like the look of, in Severio, 19 years old. He's 6'4", and he just, I think he can fit in really, really well. And again, he's made 5 appearances for us so far since coming up to the first team. So just them couple of players coming up from the youth team has just added a little bit more depth as well. And the final one who I did bring up is Rod Torres, mainly with the experiment of testing. Will his determination go back up? Obviously in the last episode we saw something we'd never seen before. Will it go back up? Who knows? But let's get into today's game then, and you will see the tactic we've started playing. So we're going to be playing Blanco. Then we have Valde and Mercy now as ball-playing centre-backs, with Devilek currently in defensive of the 3. Obviously we have Kubasi, who's out injured on his way back. Porter right back, Balde left back. We have Bernal and Emery in central mid. That's an insanely strong central mid. And Valde can play in that ball playing position here. You can see ball playing defender on defend. He has the attributes for it, especially when we are dominating play so much. Now it's going to be Emmerich and Finchu in attacking mid with Mark up top, because we are missing. Davies is still out. Fatty's now out. Pedri's out. Kabasi's on his way back. And Kondik is out as well. So we have had quite a few injuries recently. But this new ball-playing defender's role for Valde has been looking decent, especially when you have Emery and Bernal in central mid because of it. But Real Betis away today. We've won 3 games in a row. We're looking quite solid. I hope we can continue it. Oh, we scored a goal. Someone's called me on Facebook Messenger. Totally distracted. I had to message saying I'm going to call them back. And we have scored a goal. So let's have a look at this. It was a Mercia goal. Emery with the corner comes in front post. Mercia with the header makes it Real Betis 0, Barcelona 1. Currently, we're going to go to within 2 points of Atletico Madrid. I think if we can finish top 3 in our first season, I'll be delighted. I'm really desperately hoping we have a good youth intake. Obviously, there's not insane quality in the youth team at the minute. There is some good players. Obviously, 2.5, 3-star players at this club are still good players. But I'm just dreaming that we get 1 or 2 absolute superstars who can come and step into this first team. A Messi, a Xavi, a Gavi, a Puyol. Players like that I think I would love to see come through. Not much happening at the minute. But we are half hour in. Sorry, with half an hour to go, so we are going to look to make just a couple of changes, keep the legs fresh. So I think what we'll do is Devilet comes off, and we're going to bring in Severio in central defence. Obviously an academy player, giving him a chance in that ball-playing covering position. And I think maybe Finchu's struggling with his legs a little bit. So I think we will actually bring on Torres and see how he can do for the last half an hour. Yeah, they weren't using him in the B team. Obviously, determination dropped from 14 or 13 to 4. And he was insanely good for us at our last few clubs. So I just want to give him a chance, to be honest with you. Mark is in, though, and we go 2-0 up. Giving us that 2-goal cushion is nice. They're gonna check it, but normally if the assistance flag doesn't go up, it is actually onside. So we see it is awarded. Yes. Let's see how this goal happened. And they try to play out from defence, but Emery just snips in. Plays it to Finchu. He first time puts it for Mark. 1 touch and a finish. And now Mark has got himself a goal. I'm actually going to take him off and bring on Alex because, well, we have some players in this journey who are players who have followed us throughout the journey. And these players are named after my Patreon or YouTube membership players, supporters. So they've followed us throughout this journey. I'm giving them a chance. Maybe they can come on and do quite well. Why is it slowed down so much? Match speed between highlights dropped massively there. And it dropped to full match. Okay. You just randomly adjust. Fort wins it. Bernal now. To Rod Torres. With his 4 determination now. Hopefully that gets fixed. Rod Torres goes back to Valde. He goes inside to Bernal. Forward to Torres. He cuts it across to Emric. Mark is in. Can Mark get another one? Oh. I'd have felt bad taking Mark off on 2. If he was on for a hat-trick, I'd feel bad. He's been scoring for fun this season. Balde with the corner to Emerick. He floated to the back post, but there's nobody there, unfortunately. I think I'm just checking our wing backs with 20 minutes to go, because I think Cucurella I'm going to bring on a left wing back for Balde. Mainly due to the fact that he's still technically not competent at left wing back. So the more football I can give him in that position, the more competent he will become there. Mercier plays it forward to Bernal. To Emric, goes out to Balde. Still on the pitch. His last action before coming off. Goes inside Emric. Good first touch. Good second touch. Lays it out wide to Fort. He takes a touch inside. Emery tucks it away. That's normally where Alex is. I was hoping Alex was going to be getting in there to just tap that ball home. We're 3-0 up. Yeah, we'll proceed with the changes. We do have one. No, we don't. Because Alex came on separate, so we've actually used all of our substitutes. But it's okay. It's okay. Because what I'll do now is I'm just going to switch our tactic from our main one to the away tactic, which just tightens us up a little bit and just makes sure we secure that clean sheet. Come on. See us through to the end of the game. We go 4 points clear of Real Sociedad with this this win as well. Just gives us that little bit of cushion of 4th place. Fantastic. Do think the changes we've made during this window have been fantastic. Torres out with a pulled hamstring, unfortunately. Anything else? No, but we have gone 10 games unbeaten now, which is fantastic. As a manager, we've now played 435 games. Can we see my history here then? So, as Barcelona manager, we've lost 9 games in 34 as Barcelona manager. Quite bad. We have won a cup though. Overall, we've won 4 cups, 1 league with 2 promotions, so we're doing all right. Players bought. We've spent 668 million as a manager. Most of that's been at Barcelona, hasn't it? In 1 season. In half a season, we've spent pretty much all of that. That is crazy. Time spent on holiday, 0 days. Total game time, 3,520 days. Okay. Longest time at club, 1,302. I think we're going to beat that. I honestly think we're going to beat that. So we had 2.5 seasons at Trenton, 1 season at Sportis Foga. 4 seasons. No, it was 3.5 seasons at Austria Wien. Then 2 full seasons at Lawrence. A bit annoying that that's done there. And now obviously at Barcelona. So I think we can get a good 4 or 5 seasons at Barcelona before we maybe look at moving on. But again, it depends what we win. If we won the Champions League and the league with Barcelona, then maybe we will look at just continuing the journey around Europe and seeing if we can rebuild the club, etc. But I'm not sure. That's me thinking ahead and actually think we're going to be successful here. But that is it for the episode. I will continue and see what I can achieve over the second half of the season. We can dream. Maybe I'm back for the Champions League final. Probably not. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.